AM, The Ticket.
All right, what's going on? And welcome to Idaho Sports Talk. Prater in the ball game. KTIK Sports Radio, The Ticket. Prater is out on vacation and coming and subbing and kicking butt all week. Boise State play-by-play broadcaster in his place, Bob Behler. Bob, we've had a heck of a first couple hours, but here is the interview we've been waiting for, my man.
Brett Rypien joins us from Los Angeles, 3 years with the Denver Broncos, now with the LA Rams. Brett, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
So how did it go about? How did it come about, the fact that you're going to be with the Rams?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a long free agency period. Obviously, it's my first time going through it. And, obviously started, I think, mid-March was the first day. I don't remember exactly. I think it was March 15th, and it was kind of just a waiting game for a while. And, didn't really think, the Rams. I was talking to a few teams for a while, but kind of late in the process after the draft, is when we thought that everything would kind of shake out. And, they ended up contacting my agent, and it's been an awesome fit, and I'm really happy to be here.
When you say an awesome fit, what do you think makes you suited to be with the Rams?
Well, number one, just learning from Coach McVay, just such a great leader. And, honestly, somebody that reminds me a lot of Brian Harsin as far as his organizational skills and offensive mind, and, just really stepped in right away and felt at home here. And I think Zach Robinson, our quarterback coach, Mike LaFleur, our offensive coordinator, all guys that, understand. In this system, I've played in different forms and variations multiple times now, with Nathaniel Hackett last year, and then Rich Gangarello my rookie year. So a lot of familiarity there. And, obviously having Matthew, Stetson, and Dresser, the room has been great as well. So it's been a dream come true so far.
I love it, catching up with Brett Rypien, the all-time passing yardage leader in the history of the Mountain West Conference. He's second in touchdown passes in that category, won 37 games as a starter for you, Bronco Nation, and he's with us right now. What were the early impressions? You mentioned you kind of reminded you of Harsin a little bit, but I love Sean McVay, Brett, and I've studied the NFL, and since he got to be head coach of the Rams and the success he's had going to 2 Super Bowls, you talked about being an organizational mastermind, but what is he just with the X's and O's? You seem like a football junkie. He's obviously a football junkie. What kind of sticks out in that regard, getting to be in the same building with a football savant like Sean McVay every day?
Yeah, it's been great. I long considered myself, to really love the game as well, and I kind of have that passion for it. And, just to hear him talk through an all-22 perspective and be able to talk defense, offense, it's really impressive. He comes into the team meeting room, and he's going back and forth while we're watching plays, talking about defensive techniques, offensive techniques. And, a lot of times my head is spinning just listening to him because he goes so fast.
Yeah.
He just has so much knowledge, but it's been great. I've learned so much just being here in, the month that I have been so far, and, just can't wait to continue to learn.
This guy shattered Kellen Moore's high school records in the state of Washington. I love to get some stories on that, Kellen, if you've crossed paths. And I'm sorry, if you've crossed paths with Kellen, Brett, and how fun that must be. But I want to get back to the Rams real quick. And, you mentioned working with Matthew Stafford, who's had such a wonderful career. What did Coach McVay tell you he wanted your role to be when he signed you with the LA Rams?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we haven't really talked about a role. I knew that they had drafted Stetson and obviously had Matthew as well. So, Matthew's obviously our starter. And I think from, Stetson's perspective, he's a 4th-round pick. And I know that they were excited and fired up about him getting here. And, he's done a great job since he has come in and, has been able to learn the offense. The offense is not easy to learn. And, I know there's a lot of information that's being thrown at him, new footwork, different things like that. So from my perspective, I'm just trying to go out and play the best football that I can. And, whatever that role looks like, I'm hopefully going to be a part of this team and, I'll be ready to play.
What are the things you wanted to accomplish most at the just recently, I guess, as far as today, completed OTAs? What did you want to accomplish for the Rams at this time?
Yeah, I think, just learning the offense, getting familiar with the intricacies that are different from the, systems I've been in the past and how we call the run game here, how we call protections. And, there's just different words that maybe had meant something for me in the past, but, mean something different here. But as far as an operational standpoint goes, I feel like I'm at the point now where, I'm not really having to worry because it's, you see these kids, these college kids coming out and they've been signaling plays in their whole life. And so, it's a skill to get into a huddle and call a play. And I think that's something that's very underrated and something I was very fortunate to do at Boise State. My junior and senior year, we were almost exclusively in the huddle. So, it's something I talked to Harse about a lot that, was really, an advantage for me coming into the league. And now being in my fifth year, I feel like I've seen a lot of NFL football, obviously had 3 starts as well. And, I feel like I'm in a good place to go out and play well.
Brett, what's the difference between OTAs and a day of camp? Is it a lot less time? What makes what you did this week different than, say, the first 2 or 3 days at camp?
Yeah, I'd say it's just the hours. I don't know how camp is structured here quite yet. But for a normal OTA day, and mini camp was a little bit longer, but you're here required 8 to 2 p.m. Whereas training camp, you're probably, you're going to be here from 7 till 7 or 6. Everybody's a little bit different. So it's just the hours, and then the practice time may be a little bit longer, but you come in and you watch it afterwards, and that's why August and training camp always feel like the days just kind of roll together. You don't really know what day it is because you're just one day after another doing the same exact thing, and you're trying to get a lot of reps and see what you got from young guys and different things like that. So just longer days.
Former Mountain West Player of the Year. In fact, 3-time first-team All-League, 1-time second-team All-League. So every single season, Brett Rypien was your starting quarterback, Boise State. He was either first-team or second-team All-Mountain West. People forget how good this guy was here on the blue. And Brett, your time here, and you mentioned Brian Harsin a couple times. I can't wait to talk a little more about him later on, but I was just doing some research today, and I remember these teams. And you played with 2 NFL running backs and Jeremy McNichols and Alexander Madison. 3 of your receivers, Cedric, Hightower, and Shakir, went to the NFL. You had a tight end, John Bates, who's in the NFL. You've had Ezra, Malshawn, Reese Odiombo. 3 offensive linemen you played with are in the NFL. You guys had a massive influx of talent when you were here. What are your memories operating that offense with under Harse for 4 years and getting to play with all those future pros? Must have been awesome, huh?
Oh, it was a blast. You named all the names right there. It was pretty impressive, but it was a blast. And I think the best part about going to Boise State, and at least when I was there, because I know the offense has changed over the last couple of years, but it was stuff that they had been doing since 2000, and to me that was really special. When Dirk was there back in 2000, Coach Hawk kind of took it over, Coach Pete from there, but we would have install videos from Dinwiddie, Jared, all these different guys. So, it made it really special because that these plays had worked in the past, and we just got so creative with different things. And then when you have the talent, like you said, you really don't feel like the playbook is going to be limited at all. And that's kind of what I felt when I was there. And, it was special because that staff, especially my junior and senior year, helps me be a big part of the game planning. And we had a great time. We had a lot of fun times.
Brett, you completed over 1,000 passes. I'm going to tell you what my favorite completion was in the 4 seasons that I had the pleasure was the pass in the championship game to Cedric Wilson out of the end zone.
Yep. Absolutely. I would say that's got to be a top 3 one for me as well.
All right. So what are the other 2 then? If that's in the top 3,
Yeah, give us the top 3, Brett.
Oh man, I don't know if I could really name the other 2. Maybe that is the best one.
Okay.
Another one that comes to mind is when we played BYU in 2016, right before halftime. I threw one to Ced right over Fred Warner, and obviously Fred Warner's gone on to have a unbelievable career. But that was definitely one of the better throws I think I had. That one comes to mind. And I also remember, I don't know why I remember this one, but early in the game, I think it was my senior year, I had like an 80-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Richardson down the sideline it was my junior year, at home against Air Force.
Another good one.
And that one was special just because it kind of got the game off to a good start. I remember that was a sold-out crowd. We hadn't beaten Air Force in like 3 years, so that was kind of the whole thing going into that game was like, we got to get off to a fast start. And I remember that one being pretty special.
Well, I was going on the Rams website just to, check some things on your bio, make sure that I had, what I remembered. And I noticed they've got you changed numbers. You're going to wear 11 this year?
I am. Yeah. I'm back to my high school days. Wearing 11, which, a lot of people don't know. I would have worn that at Boise State. I actually came into my locker. This is a funny story. Came into my locker first day when I'm back in 2015 because I enrolled early, and had 11 in my locker. And I was like, oh, great. Now they're going to let me wear it, whatever. And I come in the next day and it's gone. And literally just my name was there. They actually just cut off the number part. Harse wanted it gone so quickly they didn't even wait for the new number to come in. And then I went up to his office later that day, and he kind of explained to me that obviously with the career that Kellen had there, I think it was, and I agreed with it.
That's hilarious. I love it.
But in the pros, if you go to a new team, you can. I guess if it's taken, you can't take it, right? I mean, do they give you the choice?
Pay for it?
Yeah, no. 4 was already taken here. And, there's sometimes that you can negotiate to get certain numbers. But I wasn't going to do that.
I love it.
Like 11. My uncle Mark wore 11. He played for the Rams 2 years. So I pulled up a funny picture the other day and sent it to him of him in the Rams 11 jersey.
I forgot that. Rip did kind of end his career there. Rams, Colts. I think he might have had a cup of coffee with the Seahawks in the offseason, if memory serves me correctly.
Sure did.
I'm a geek with the NFL, Brett. I love it. Harse probably brought you in and said, Rip, you don't want to wear number 11, man. Don't put that on you in this town. You've mentioned him a few times, and, Brian Harsin is back in town. His son is playing at Eagle. I know you're really close with the Harsin family. What is your relationship like these days with Brian Harsin?
Yeah, we still chat every now and then, and he actually came out to practice a couple of weeks ago, and I was able to see him really the first time I was able to see him in person in the last couple of years, and we were able to go out to dinner and stuff. So, just he's been such an influential figure in my football life, and somebody I'll always owe a lot of respect and due to just taught me so much, and went through a lot with him in those 4 years, and had some crazy ups and some crazy downs. And, obviously he's had a crazy couple of years as well. So it was good to catch up with him. And, it's great that he's back in Boise, and it's cool to see, like you said, Davis as a senior now. And, looks like he's going to being recruited here a little bit. So, really cool to kind of see that come full circle.
Brett, who paid for the dinner? I know you make good scratch, but they gave Harsin a lot of money to go away.
Yeah, no, he definitely paid. I out of respect had to say, hey, you want to split it? And he of course said no, but he took the bill for that one.
Well, I think he's going to enjoy doing some things in the offseason. Every coach that I've ever spoken with that has a year where you're getting paid and then, you can come back, they all seem to do things they want to do.
Yeah, Harsin hanging out at Rams practice. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just cool to see him in a different light like that, too. And I think so much responsibility is on a head coach's shoulders at all times. And, there's times where I think he would tell you this as well. It's just like you feel like you can never turn it off. And so to see him in a different light where, he's kind of relaxed and he's out there just kind of being able to watch and learn. And we're talking through some things that, we were doing schematically out at the Rams practice and then getting to reminisce on some of the stuff that we did, while I was at Boise, and also talking about, what Kellen has been doing the last couple of years, because I would always send him clips of stuff the Cowboys are doing and how that kind of related to the old school Boise offense. And it's been cool to, also get to talk to Kellen too and kind of keep that relationship going. So, it's a special bloodline, I think, and just alumni group at Boise. And it's cool that, we got so many guys that have gone on to do amazing things.
Do you bump into the Chargers much? I know you guys both play at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't believe you guys have offices or training anywhere that's that close, right?
Yeah, no, they're down in Costa Mesa. We're way up here in Thousand Oaks, which is north of LA, and they're kind of down in Orange County. But I've talked to Kellen, and we're going to try to get out, sometime this summer, hopefully, and get out to dinner, because I actually live in North County, San Diego, which is closer to Orange County in the off season. So, I've definitely been in contact with him for sure, that now that he's out here as well.
Do you commute from there, or do you have a place that you can crash at in Los Angeles?
Interesting.
That might be a tough commute.
Borrow Phillip Rivers' old van.
Yeah, no, I'm up here. So we have a team hotel that we stay in, and then I go back down on the weekends. Yeah. It's about a 2.5-hour drive. And with traffic, it can turn into like 3.5. So.
Yeah. I bet your wife was happy, though. Last time we had you on, Brett, you mentioned you guys had moved to San Diego, and now you're obviously not too far away. That's got to be pretty cool for the family and in all that respects. Do you ever get back to Boise, Brett, when you can?
I haven't been. This has been the longest I haven't been. I think I came up, I know, in 2020, and I might have been up there in 21, but, I want to get back up. Obviously, I haven't even been, I don't think I've been at the facility since Andy's been at the helm now, but I want to get back up to the facility and see some of those guys. There's still a couple of guys there, shockingly, that I played with.
Wow, you're
Billy
right.
Bowens and
COVID, right? That eligibility, Brett, we lose track now, dude. Yeah.
Right. Riley Smith. There's a few names.
You played with Riley Smith, man. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to use that against him next time we talk to him.
I'm just looking at records like Mountain West Records, and anybody that has records, you're in danger of losing something to somebody that goes COVID for 6 years.
Chevin Cordero.
Yes.
Yeah. He's approaching.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where is he at? Now I'm going to have to keep track of it.
Cordero needs, I think, 26 to tie you for second. I think he needs 28 or 29 to pass Max Hall to become
that's in the TDs,
the all-time touchdown passes leader in Mountain West history. Brett, as far as the passing yardage goes, I don't think Chevin can catch Brett on that. I think you're safe on the yardage, Rip. Right. So at least you're always gonna have that. I'm looking right now, and Cordero, his 7th all-time. Brett, you got about 4,000 yards on Cordero. He's gonna need a monster year.
Yeah, he's not going to do that.
He's a monster year. Brett, enjoy the offseason, man. This has been awesome. I love the fact that you still keep in touch a little bit with Bob Behler, too, and we can bring you back on Idaho Sports Talk. And Bronco Nation loves you, dude. You won a lot of games here. You put up fantastic numbers, and we're part of a really good Boise State era. So, hopefully things work out the rest of your NFL career, and we can keep bringing you on the show, dude.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you guys having me. And, you never know. Maybe I'll end up back in Boise someday coaching. And, we'll be having a lot more of these conversations. So
All right.
Oh,
Appreciate you
okay.
guys.
Another former quarterback, Bob, who wants to get into coaching. Every single
What
one.
a shock.
Oh, I read a shocker. Ex-Boise State quarterback wants to be a coach. I love it. Rip, have a good one, man.
all right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brett.
And that is why you listen to Idaho Sports Talk. Let's unpack this. And JP, one of your classic songs of all time. Don't miss next segment. Behler's in for Prater. This is Idaho Sports Talk. Prater in the ball game. KTIK, the ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.